It's good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Come on with us to Philippians chapter 4. Philippians chapter 4. I want to think about a little reminder that we need from time to time. In Philippians 4, there was two women who were having trouble getting along. Verse 2, I implore Euodia and I implore Syntyche to be of the same mind in the Lord. Verse 3, it says, And I urge you also, true companion, help these women who labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also and the rest of my fellow workers, whose name are in the book of life. They're having trouble. These two ladies were having trouble, and they needed to reconcile. They needed to find some peace and have peace between themselves. Well, let's think about a few ideas and a few things we need to be reminded of from time to time. Verse 4 says, Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. And we need to be reminded of that. That yes, there's a time to sorrow, and we understand in the world we'll have tribulation, but at the same time we are to rejoice in the Lord. The Lord says, My peace I give to you, not as the world gives it, but He gives it as He gives it. And we have peace with the Father through Him, and we lean upon Him. We trust in His grace that is sufficient. We do all those things, and we need to rejoice because of it. Now, verse 8, another point to be made. It says, Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, you have all of those good things being spoken about. It says, meditate on these things. We need to think on those good things. Verse 9, the things which you heard and received, learned and received and heard and saw in me, these do, and the God of peace will be with you. We need to think on those things. We need to meditate on those things. It's real easy to focus on garbage. It's real easy to just think about all of the wickedness that happens. It's real easy to dwell on it. It's real easy to be consumed by it. We need to think upon good things. If we're going to have peace, if we're going to have the Lord's peace, we need to think and meditate upon these good and noble and virtuous things. What we need to be, verse 6 says, Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. We need to be prayerful. And it doesn't just say prayer, it says prayer and supplication. We need to be prayerful, and we need to be intense in prayer. Think about Jesus in the garden praying 3 times. Paul, the thorn in the flesh, praying 3 times. Jesus praying all night. We don't just need to be prayerful, we need to be intensely prayerful. But we also need to be thankful. Even in hard situations, in difficult situations, we can give thanks to the Lord for what He has done, for all the good and perfect things that have come from His hand. The verse talks about being gentle. Let your gentleness be known to all men in verse 5 as well. We need to be gentle. But also I wanted you to consider in verse 3, one of the things that we need, Paul urges, he says, true companion, help these women. And from time to time we need a peacemaker in our lives. And we need to be open to that. And we need to allow them to help us. If we're having trouble, if we're having difficulty, we need a peacemaker. There's a time to need a peacemaker, and therefore there's a time where we need to be peacemakers ourselves. Yes, if we're having trouble, we need help. But if we're able to, we need to help others and to help them seek reconciliation as well. And our last point in these last few moments, verse 5, the Lord is at hand. And we need to remember that as well, that the Lord is not far from each one of us. Hope you enjoyed this study today. God bless you. Be a blessing to others. We hope to see you tomorrow.